Good morning. Welcome to this week's podcast. I'm Pastor Chris Duckworth, Glendale United Methodist Church. It's New Year's Eve, Tuesday the 31st of December. Tomorrow is 2020, a new year, a new decade begins. And I wanted to talk a moment this morning about a new year, new you kind of thing. New year, new me. A lot of people don't make resolutions anymore. The last few years when I've polled people, asked people, not too many people do it, mostly because they don't keep them. And that sometimes is the case. I like the new year almost as well as I do Thanksgiving season, the month of November, because it is an opportunity to turn the page, to look at things differently, to set some goals for the year. I have found that has worked well for me. Some of my goals for this year are to save some money for an Alaska trip, to see my daughter and grandson and son-in-law next year, but to save towards that, pay off some bills, always a good thing. But one of the things I always try to do is look at spiritual resolutions and goals for the year. Being a pastor, I still have to set some of those because in my day-to-day life, I have to follow Christ in order that I can lead others and point others to Christ. So that's important to me. Resolutions go back 4,000 years to the early Babylonians, the Roman Empire under Julius Caesar, worshipped a god who was said to see forward and backward, and so they made resolutions. They made resolutions to serve whoever the king was, to coronate a new king or whatever. What goals, excuse me, do we make as we look at a new year? A lot of times we look at health issues, financial goals and resolutions, but what about our spiritual development? Just as importantly, more importantly than anything else we do, our health or our finances, we should look at ourselves spiritually and what can we do this year that we didn't do last year? What goals can we try to accomplish that we didn't accomplish last year? Pray more, read the Bible more, attend church more regularly. How often do we attend church now, and try to increase that? How much financial support are we giving to the church and through the connection ministering throughout the world? Is there a way that I can increase that amount a little bit? That's one of the things I'm going to do is to set my tithe a little higher and try to attain that each month. What spiritual goals will you set? When it goes to praying more, it took me 15 years to develop a habit of a good meditation time, devotional time each morning. And I've developed that practice and continue that practice. One of the goals for this year for me will be to do that 26, 28 times out of the month. Maybe give myself 4 breaks, 4 days off from doing that. Praying more throughout the day on a regular basis. Regular times of prayer is something I'm going to try to set. And of course, visitation as a pastor is one of the things that I do good at for a while and then it kind of falls off. So be more consistent with that are some of my goals. What will that do for me spiritually? I will see the blessing of being in fellowship with others, the blessing of prayers, looking for answers to prayers. That's one of the things I'm going to look for this year is where God is answering prayers and how. So I would encourage you to, as the new year begins, to set some goals, make some resolutions spiritually, financially, physically, for your health and well-being, for your family, for your personal growth and development, and take steps towards those. One of the important things of accomplishing goals is taking small steps and beginning and continuing, adapting as you need to. And whatever it's been, I've had to do that with financial goals in the past. Some months the money doesn't go as far. My eating habits sometimes aren't consistent. But coming back and redoing that. Set some resolutions and goals, set some steps, lay out a plan for accomplishing those goals, and ask God to guide you and direct you and bless you along the way. Peace and blessings. Amen.